Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and it's not Tom, it's not Ben, it's not Jack, it's not Ross, it's not Sam, this is Matthew. You're all familiar with him, I'm sure, but if you don't watch or listen to the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, Matthew, who are you?
I'm the guy that was recorded 30 years ago and kept away in a secret Bret Hart VHS locker. I am here because no one else can be bothered to show up. It's a lovely Friday morning. Let's go on the news, Pacitti.
Let's take a look at the headlines. A WWE legend is set to appear on next week's SmackDown Live. AEW's All Out main event has been announced. And a WWE Tag Team Return is imminent. Who could that be? Our first news story today involves a WWE legend appearing for, I believe, the first time ever on the blue brand ahead of his match against The Undertaker next Friday in Saudi Arabia. It's Bill Goldberg. How do you feel about this? You excited for the match, Matthew?
Oh, you betcha, by golly.
This is a weird one because every other time that there's been this sort of thrown together match that happens on a Saudi show, a la Randy Orton Triple H, there's been video packages. I don't think they've even bothered doing that. I guess there's nothing really to work with. You could just do a bit of a like, this is The Undertaker, he's spooky, this is Bill Goldberg, he wins a lot. There's nothing else to go on here. Is it a dream match?
It was 20 years ago.
I agree.
It's weird, the big draws for Saudi Arabia, Lesnar, Undertaker, and Goldberg and Triple H. They're the OP characters in SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. Literally, right there. Some Saudi guys, you know, I'll love that PS2 game. Is Renee Dupree available as well?
So, how do you think the match is going to go?
Well, it's a Goldberg match, so it could be anything. Oh, 20 minutes at least.
It's going to be
lots of mat work.
I can't figure out. I think Taker's winning because this is probably going to be Goldberg's, I don't want to say his last match because if another Saudi show happens, which it will, he'll probably pop up again because money. But I can't quite figure it out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a sort of repeat of Lesnar Goldberg where he trounces him, which then leads to the next one, and then maybe we get a best of three. I'm not excited about it at all.
Yeah, a best of three series, and the combined length is no longer than 10 minutes in ring action. Yeah, I'm happy with that actually. The run they did with Cena Undertaker was great. I don't want to see a long Undertaker match.
No, nor do I. It's so sad, isn't it? And it's only going to get worse because I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's still going to pop up on these shows, maybe the odd WrestleMania. It's depressing.
I think the real question is, even for the Saudis, will Undertaker wear his gear?
Next up, the main event for All Elite Wrestling's upcoming All Out pay-per-view has been confirmed. It's a match that we all knew was coming, but we didn't know when it was going to happen. But it is to crown the first ever All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Chris Jericho versus Hangman Page. Thoughts?
Oh, I'm really pulling for the curly-haired tan bloke here.
What did you think of Jericho Omega?
Oh, it did it for me.
Did it? I've read mixed reports. I really enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was there live, just bragging. And so the crowd atmosphere sold it. The crowd loves Omega, loves Jericho, or loves booing Jericho.
That entrance was so good.
Absolutely. The generations of Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had, there was Lionheart Jericho, Liz Jericho, Jacket Jericho, and now Saudi Arabia Jericho. Great. And Hangman Page versus Jericho should be good because they can't have Jericho do his thing every single show. No. They need to have a new upcoming guy. So Hangman Page is a friend of them. He resembles him. He resembles Omega if you've got bad eyesight. So for the cheap seats, you might think it's him. So yeah, perfect.
I'm really, really excited. It's a weird one because if you'd asked me a month ago, I would have said it would have been the two other men who maybe should have been in that match. I would have put Omega Pac there. And I don't know if that was the original plan, but I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be Jericho who takes it, just because of the mainstream exposure.
You think so?
Yeah, because of the mainstream exposure that they'll get.
No, I think it's Page.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I reckon...
I'm not anti it. Let us know in the comments who you think. I'm interested by this.
Do you think Jericho's going to be the first? No. I think it's very counterproductive to have a secondary company and have the first champion be the ex-WWE guy.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, that is a fair point. But maybe that's a bit of an FU to WWE at the same time. So we're going to use it.
And plus,
they used
plus also the fans that are watching the show because you know him from WWE. Yeah, right.
And he won't turn up all the time either. Yeah, no, fair enough. Let's move on. Next up, the return of a WWE tag team is imminent. This comes from Post Wrestling, who is reporting that Akeem From the authors of Pain, the AOP is good to go. He's ready to come back, and WWE are just waiting on a program for them to be inserted into. I think the sensible place for these guys now is the SmackDown Tag Division. We're just about to see Heavy Machinery feud with Bryan and Rowan. That's not going to last for very long at all. I see Bryan and Rowan coming out on top of that. As much as I like Heavy Machinery, and I think the next step there is probably AOP.
I think they've been deciding how injured they are, depending on which show they're going to be on. They're like, okay, you ready for SmackDown? Oh, you betcha. Oh, actually, we're thinking about Raw. Oh, me knee.
No, I would argue that it's all changed. Daniel Bryan brought this up in the promo this week on SmackDown, the sort of the state of the SmackDown tag division. They've taken the Usos, the best tag team in the world, and it's a bit of a shambles now.
It is, yes. It's a bit of a dog's dinner.
Just the superstar shakeup has ruined everything, because we were talking about how bad the Raw tag division has been when sort of you had Bobby Roode and Gable and then not much else.
Yes.
For quite a while, and now it's just the opposite. Don't get me wrong, I love Bryan and Rowan, and I think they're great, and I actually think they're going to make the belts more important, but I think they're desperately needed on SmackDown. We will see. We don't have any further news as to when that may be. The wildcard rule is apparently playing into it also.
Goody.
What else can you say about that? We will see. We'll keep you updated on that. Next up, Joey Ryan has confirmed his future in wrestling. Is it WWE? Is it AEW? Is it Impact? No, it's not. It's none of them. It's just going to continue on the indie scene, making lots and lots of money, getting people to touch his knob.
Yeah.
And fair play to the guy.
Yeah, well done.
Genuinely fair play. I was very worried that he was going to announce that he was going to go to WWE, where he would be absolutely ruined, because they couldn't do any of the things that make Joey Ryan unique and fun to watch, or very few of those things. AEW did seem like a good fit for him, and he's got friends there, obviously. It wouldn't surprise me if he's fielded offers. But I'm happy for him. He's a guy who's just making a ton of money and is so good at what he does. His matches are great, but I think more importantly, he's just found a great character that people associate with and sells loads of merch.
Absolutely. And if you went to WWE, you might have to, bump.
Fair point. So that is Joey Ryan. I hope you continue selling lots and lots and lots of tickets.
Selling? The guys that sold in 2012.
Next up, yesterday, Triple H took part in a media call where he addressed some interesting things. Two of those, the highlights I wod say, are the status of Tyler Breeze and the shots which have been taken, or being taken, back and forth between AEW and WWE. Triple H taking, or striking the first blow, I would argue, in that Cold War. At the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Cold War?
When he called them that pissant company, which in turn meant that Cody replied, calling him, I think it was a pissant bodybuilder. On an episode of Being the Elite, who can't go with the younger guys, essentially. And then, of course, we saw Cody Rhodes smash up the throne. How was that in person? What was the reaction like?
It was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It was, it was very heavy-handed, but people like that. Yeah. There are a lot of people that watch AEW like, overthrow the government and all this stuff. And it worked. Pissant bodybuilder, that's like half a compliment, though. You really big, rugged pissant.
Yeah, it's like pissant
God,
superstar.
Look at your shoulders, you pissant.
Pissant god or something,
right? You hench piss.
Anyway, Triple H has responded to some of these shots being taken, and he said, for me, I don't even think about it, to be honest. He is laser focused on Saturday's NXT Takeover show. That's, of course, NXT Takeover 25, which I can't wait for. Instead of other companies' creative, he wants to make NXT the best it can be. I think that we're going to see more of a reply to AEW on Saturday night than we saw on Monday night. Obviously, Sammy mentioned AEW, but I actually think Triple H, despite what he says here, I think the war is between him and Cody at this point.
Is it a war if one guy doesn't even acknowledge the other?
He's acknowledged it.
He said pissant company.
Yeah.
There are many pissant. He might be a 5-star wrestling fan.
Who isn't?
Exactly.
We'll see. I'm interested by Saturday night.
Yes.
I'm interested, and I do think it's going to be. Nobody seems especially hyped for it. That's the weird thing. Just because everybody's talking about AEW, it's been a very, very bad week for WWE from a PR perspective, not helped by the fact that they've got a Saudi Arabia show coming up. But NXT takeovers never fail to disappoint. I think it's a really strong card as well. Especially the match involving this next man, Tyler Breeze, who has been confirmed now. He is back in NXT proper. He's there.
It's full-time then?
It's full-time. Triple H revealed that in yesterday's media call, and he said that The match between Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze, which is of course for the North American Championship, could be the match to steal the show. He says it has the potential to steal the show. They both want to prove something here, which I love. And that's the match, actually, that I'm most excited for, because I think it's not necessarily the least predictable from a result standpoint, because I think Velveteen Dream is winning there, but least predictable as far as what's going to happen in the ring. We know that Adam Cole Gargano is just going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be great. But those two, as Triple H says here, I think we're going to see something really special there.
It's nice to see Tyler Breeze get a promotion after all these low years of service.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.